Well, the rain has moved out for the time being. It is breezy, but it is warm. Expecting temperatures in the mid to upper 70s here. This game was rescheduled because, surprise, surprise, weather earlier this season didn't cooperate. But Defiance and Archbold, two baseball powerhouses in the northwest portion of the state of Ohio, getting set to do battle here this afternoon at Defiance. The Blue Streaks coming in on a big win last night against Pettisville, 9-3, to up their record to 6-9 overall. 12-9 overall. 12-9 overall. 6-1 in the Northwest Ohio Athletic Association. For the Defiance Bulldogs, the Pistons on the winning train just keep firing. Bulldogs not necessarily playing their best, according to head coach Rick Weaver. Still with a convincing 7-2 win last night at Wauseon to up their record overall to 17-0, 7-0 in the Western Buckeye League. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show is on the air. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. Scoop, we're getting this one in, you know what, or high water. It's what you have to do when you play baseball north of the Mason-Dixon line, but with these two teams so close to each other and with such great baseball tradition, there was no way they weren't going to get this game made up.
Well, you're exactly right. This is the 27th consecutive season that the Bulldogs and Streaks have met on the baseball field, and it's been a good rivalry. Even though Defiance really has kind of dominated, they've won 28 of 32. 3 of the last 6 have gone to Archbold. So the Archbold Blue Streaks are starting to find a way to break through. But you mentioned it, Brent. Wow, what great traditions both these programs have.
Well, we're going to hear from head coach Rick Weaver. We had a chance to talk with him as the team was taking infield practice on basically the 17-game win streak, but more specifically, still what's left undone or unaccomplished for this team. You've got double-digit seniors. You've got all 9 starters this afternoon that will be seniors. It's not just going 17-0. They have their sights set on some higher expectations. But we won't tell you. We'll let the coach tell you in his own words. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have our pregame interview with Defiance head coach Rick Weaver. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show on DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
All right, here we come on a count. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues. The rain, for at least the time being, is holding off. We're optimists here. So if it means 20% chance of rain, that means 80% chance of not rain, right?
What we say, right?
Absolutely. Plus, when you have the benefit of turf and lights, you can play maybe a little bit later than other teams. But one thing's for certain, we've got to get Archbold and Defiance in as the Bulldogs look to maintain a perfect record in what's going to be a massively busy week. Coach Weaver joining us on the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. Coach, I guess let me ask you to rewind a little bit before we look ahead to this one. Start of the season, and you and I talked about it. Senior-dominated team. They have not disappointed, but that doesn't mean that a day to practice isn't an opportunity to get better. So a lot of people will look at the ranking, will look at the undefeated record. Let me just ask you point blank, how much better is this team right now compared to, say, 6 weeks ago?
A lot better, and I think that's what you said. We try
I
to get
stumped him.
We try to get better every day, and that's our motto. That's what we talk about. Is just get better every day, keep working, keep practicing. We don't look ahead. We only talk about who we're playing today, and so we just talked about Archbold's the best team on our schedule, and that's all we worry about. At the end of the season, then we'll look back and see what we accomplished.
All right, so you said a lot better. Any particular area that jumps out at you?
I just think consistency. Obviously, with 13 seniors, experience is huge. But with kids, you still have to work on things. You have to explain things. You have to go over things. So being from last Thursday, we played every day except Sunday. We're going to play every day until next Sunday. So it's kind of how baseball is meant to be played, is played every day. But as a coach, you still want some times in there to practice.
We finally get to see Garrison Smitty on the bump. Again, break him down for us. Tall, obviously throwing downhill, but what's his repertoire?
Yeah, so he's going to be mainly a fastball slider guy. His changeup's a work in progress. We've been working on it, but he'll sit mid-80s, touching upper 80s, and then he'll throw your slider 71 to 74. This will be, I think, his third start, fourth appearance, and he's got better every time he's went out there, which you would kind of expect since he missed all last year with an illness.
You've got 4, potentially 5 starters on any given day if you needed to make a change. When was the last time that you had this kind of depth, at least at the pitching position? Or have you?
Probably 2012. We had 3 really good ones. Usually you're really happy if you have 2 really good starters. So we have 4, and we have 2 senior relievers who we trust the world with also. They just haven't had a ton of opportunities because our starters are going 7.
Let's go ahead and break down today's opponent, Archbold. I know the record's at 500. They're throwing Castillo Jr., and what a difference a year makes. Break down this kid. What's the scout on him?
Yeah, he's a low to mid-80s guy, has a good breaker. And he threw against us last year and battled and competed, and I remember after the game thinking he's going to be pretty good in the next couple years, and he keeps improving from what I've seen. What
do you want to see as far as approach at the plate today?
Well, our goal is to get 40% of our at-bats to 2 strikes. We're right now at 49%, so we're getting to 2 strikes way too often. So we're trying to talk about being more aggressive, not taking good pitches. Last night we fell into the trap of taking good pitches, swinging at bad pitches, and that kind of put us in a rut. When we are smart, aggressive hitters, that's been our recipe for success.
Right.
Probably what most coaches would say.
I was going to say, way to go out on a limb,
Yeah,
right? Well, here's to keeping that recipe up for an unbeaten season. Still going to be a challenge today, but best of luck to you, Coach.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Coach Weaver joining us on the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. We're going to take a quick timeout. We're back with the starters and keys to the game. You're watching DCTV Sports. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues on DCTV as we're getting set for our keys to the game and our starting lineups. As you see, Defiance taking the field. We're also just around the corner from our national anthem. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as bringing out some of the future Bulldogs. Youth program out here today. Decent crowd despite the earlier rain as they will pair up with one of their favorite players. and get ready for the national anthem, which is brought to you by the Defiance County Veterans Office. Proud to support local veterans and their families, connecting them with resources available to them. If you have any questions, what you might be eligible for, give their office a call at 419-782-6861. That's 419-782-6861, the Defiance County Veterans Office. Now, the national anthem. And the national anthem, thanks to our underwriter, the Defiance County Veterans Office. If you are a veteran or a family member of a veteran and would like to know what resources you might be eligible for, give them a call at 419-782-6861. Time now for our starting lineups, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company, serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, baker-schindler.com. Let's start with Archbold's lineup. And again, there you take a look at the umpiring crew. Mark Weidenhammer is the man with the gear. He'll be calling the balls and strikes. Jay Moran will be making all the impartial calls in the field. And here's the lineup that the Blue Streaks will send to the plate today. That is not Archbold. That would be the softball game that we aired earlier. So we'll tell you ourselves here. Anderson Bentley, the center fielder, will lead things off. Trip Langendorfer, the catcher, will bat second. Colin Short will be roaming right field and batting third. C.J. Aurora Thompson will be roaming left field and hitting cleanup. Zach Short will be your designated hitter. Isaias Gracia will be the shortstop, hitting sixth. Joe Williams batting seventh and playing second base. Jace Castillo on the bump. He will be batting eighth. And Broden Piercefield, the senior first baseman, hitting ninth. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Defiance defense for you. And again, no real surprises. 9 seniors with a senior-laden team. You heard Coach Weaver talk about it. 13 seniors on this year's roster. They are 17-0, 7-0 in conference play. They have been built to do what they're doing so far. And Garrison Smitty, you take a look at the 6'7 senior. Primarily fastball and curveball. He will mix in a change every now and then. Did not play last year, but is back end healthy this year and is going to play his college ball at Butler University. Smitty on the bump. Senior and teammate Cody Shaw completing the battery behind the plate. From left to right on the infield, it goes Logan Hutchinson, Brez Zippel, Noah Gomez, and Khalil Ligon at first. Steve throw down to second as we're getting set for first pitch. From left to right in the green, Abel Rubio, the speedster Brady Borton, and Cohen Stockman in right. As it is time for first pitch, brought to you by the Arthur Law Firm. Passionate, professional, personal. Learn more at arthurlawfirm.com. Scoop, this is really going to be a treat. I joked with Garrison, but he's like, hey, good to see you. And I'm like, good to finally get to call a game of yours. He is an extra, basically you talk about an embarrassment of riches here at Defiance. They have 4, technically 5 starters. Any team in the conference would be happy with at least 1 or 2 of these guys. But this is a young man who is going to be very interesting to watch here this afternoon. As the first pitch, strike on the outside corner by Mark Weidenhammer, and we are underway.
Well, no doubt about it. When you have a guy that has a frame that Grayson Smitty has, he throws downhill.
Yep.
Boy, that's going to be a tough matchup for the Streak offense.
As this one fouled straight back by Bentley. Down in the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. Bentley entering today's contest, hitting .306 as the leadoff man, hitting, or pardon me, an on-base percentage, I should say, of .479. Digs in right in the heart of the box. Lefty-righty matchup. Swings and fouls away. Again, that looked a bit more like a slider with some glove side run. I know they call it a curve, but Scoop, a lot of kids, especially at the prep level, really, when they say curve, it's kind of a hybrid.
Yeah, a lot of guys it is. Defiance probably throws more 12-6 curveballs than anything, but that certainly was one of those hybrid sliders that had a lot of left to right run. It came right into the hands of Anderson Bentley.
So the 0-2. Smitty slings it sidearm and fouled off. Bentley hanging tough with 2 strikes.
Right now, great job by Bentley, just hanging tough up there, but credit to Schmidt. He's doing a nice job of tacking his zone, not wasting pitches. He's been awfully competitive here against Bentley early on.
0-2, Smitty trying to polish him off, and a called third strike on the outside corner. That is a Premier Bank strikeout to lead off the ball game.
Again, great job by Schmidt. He's really hitting the spots. Did a great job of really kind of pounding some off-speed pitches there to Bentley. And Bentley goes down looking, a quick out for the Defiance defense.
Garrison Smitty's numbers on the season. He's got 3 wins against no losses in 4 appearances. A stingy 1.29 ERA as a swing and a miss as the bottom fell out of that pitch. Catch a trip Langendorfer looking at an 0-1 count.
An opponent's just hitting 132 off Garrison Smitty this season, so he's really been lights out, been a tough guy to square up. He's only yielded 7 hits in 16 1/3 innings pitched this year.
1 ball, 1 strike. Smitty, 13 walks against 20 strikeouts on the season. Again, while he might be a little imposing at 6'7", and as you talked about there, Scoop, but he's also a pitch-to-contact guy. He doesn't have to strike everybody out 1 through 9.
That's what makes him such an effective pitcher. You know, it's more about getting guys to hit his pitch. I mean, he can sneak a fastball by you, especially with that 6'7" frame. But, again, he's learned to master hitting the spots, moving inside out, getting guys to hit his pitch.
Off speed, check swing. Did he go? He did not. Home plate umpire Mark Wardenhammer points down. And Smitty. Boy, he wanted that pitch, did not get it. That was a swing and miss pitch. That was not going to sneak by anybody. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. This one well struck deep to center field. Borton, though, drifting back. And with the warm but somewhat humid air, I'm not sure the ball's going to travel as well tonight as it maybe has in a few weeks past, but Borton had him played perfectly 2 away.
Yeah, great job by Borton, who was able to track that down. No problem at all. The wind kind of going to hold things up today. A little slight breeze coming in. 2 quick outs for Smitty here, trying to retire the streaks in order here in this first inning.
So that'll bring up Colin Short. Short, right fielder. Another righty-lefty matchup. Checks his swing on an off-speed pitch. Colin Short, as there's 2 of them on the roster. 1 Zach, 1 Colin. Colin hitting .344 with an on-base percentage of .388. And they like his speed aboard as he has a perfect 4 for 4 in the stolen base category. As he swings and offers at a pitch around the letters, comes up empty.
Good-looking heater that time by Smitty.
The 1-1. Boy, he elevated again, and Short just missed, fouling it straight back.
Well, that time with 2 outs going on, Colin Short was swinging for the downs, but that ball got by him in a hurry. The count still in Smitty's favor.
1-2. This one off the mark.
That's a great 1-2 pitch by Smitty that time. Just tried to get Short to expand his zone. Good hold there by Colin.
2-2. This one a shot into shallow right center field. It will get down. Whoa, and the throw, I have no idea where it was going, but it's way off the base, and that's going to send Khalil Ligon right in front of the home team dugout, I should say, and that's going to be an extra 90 on the error on the throw.
Yeah, mark that down as a base hit by Short, but an E9 will allow Colin Short to go into scoring position, so an RBI opportunity coming up for C.J. Thompson-Aurora, who's hitting .322 in the season, also has 19 hits for the Blue Streaks this year.
He's got a dozen RBI. He'd like to pick up a baker's dozen and give Archbold an early lead. Garrison Smitty, through no fault of his own, sees the third batter of the afternoon in scoring position. Smitty will operate from the stretch. This one misses in the cellar.
Yeah, and right now, if you're Garrison Smitty, you don't have to give in to Thompson Arroyo. You got first base open. We mentioned he's hitting .322. The on-deck hitter, Zach Short, hitting .194. So right here, be competitive, hit your spot, but make him hit your pitch.
1-0. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, well-located fastball that time by Garrison there to paint that outside edge against Thompson Arroyo to even up the count at 1-1.
From the letters, Smitty, runner bluffs. This one misses around the shins. And a throw to second, and again, miscommunication as Gomez and Zippel were both standing right there, and boy, this has just become an uncharacteristic error fest here in the first inning.
And Rick Weaver's seen enough. Right now, they're just kind of tossing the ball around, no reason at all. No one's expecting a throw. And two really ill-advised throws by this Defiance defense has given Archbold an extra 90 feet times 2. And now the potential go-ahead run on just 90 feet away as Colin Short advances to third on the second Defiance error of the inning.
How you scoring that one? What?
It's got to be on the throw. I mean,
all right.
No one was expecting it, even though the throw was not offline by any stretch. But when nobody's there.
Gomez and Ziffel just kind of stood there and still almost seemed dumbfounded. But Coach Weaver marching to the mound with a purpose and preaching a little fire, as if you're Smitty right now, you just need to bear down and get the hitter. You're out of the inning with no damage done. The 2-1 is a late strike call.
It's a great pitch that time by Schmitty. And probably a good hold that time by Thompson Roy. You're up in the count 2-1. You paint a pitch on the outside edge on the black right at the knees. But right now with 2 strikes, you got to expand that zone here a little bit. 2-strike approach here coming up.
Smitty with the 2-2. Sidearms, this one, a number short side. Here comes Zippel, bare hands it. Got him! Pays to have a cannon for an arm. Score at 6-3 on the putout as Thompson dove into the bag. You're trying to beat a throw, not a tag there, but he appears to be okay, and Defiance none the worse for wear, despite giving up no runs on 1 hit, 2 errors, and 1 left aboard. We're through 1/2 inning. Archbold nothing. Bulldogs coming to the plate. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
In life, unexpected challenges can test us. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, you deserve a team that understands. Because your story matters. Call Arthur Law Firm today. We'll fight for you every step of the way.
Back at Defiance, Brent Papadon alongside Scoop Miller as we head to the bottom of the first. Archbold threatens 2 rare throwing errors by the Bulldogs in the top half of the frame. Put a runner at third, but Garrison Smith got himself out of trouble. Jace Castillo, the junior ace for the Blue Streaks, on the bump. Castillo dealing to Logan Hutchison, Cohen Stockman, and Brady Borton, the top of the order here in the bottom of the first. As this one's just a bit outside, according to home plate umpire Mark Weidenhammer.
And right there, what you saw from Castillo is what you're going to get. He's a guy that likes to mix speeds, work the ball inside and out, and there he paints one on the inside corner to knees to quickly get on top of Logan Hutchison, 1-2.
Castillo Deals this one, a chopper to the opposite side, backhanded by Gracia, and he makes a nifty throw across the diamond to get the Bulldog leadoff man.
Well, that's a great pitch that time by Castillo, and credit to Isaiah Gracia that time. That was not going to be easy play with the speed of Logan Hutchison, but he did a nice job of charging that baseball, that quick release, and a quick first out for this Blue Streak defense.
Brings up Cohen Stockman. Another righty-lefty matchup. This one, a chopper to short. Boy, took a low hop, but Gracia makes the tough play look easy. 2 down. Let's break down Jace Castillo for you. 9 games played this year. He's got 6 starts. He's thrown 28 2/3. He's got 4 wins against 3 losses. He's given up 25 hits, 14 runs, but Scoop, only 8 of those have been earned. So what that tells me, obviously, is defense hasn't exactly been solid, at least in several of his outings.
Well, Jace Castillo, he's a pitcher. He's not going to throw it by you, but what he'll do is he'll keep you off stride. He'll keep you off balance. He does a great job of going north and south, east and west with the baseball. And there you see a nasty-looking bender that time from Castillo. And Borton just fouls it off. But once again, Castillo has these Defiance hitters in a negative count.
0-2. Castillo sets, deals. This one, a liner back up the middle and into center field for a 2-out single. So both teams with 2-out singles, keeping the line moving. Castillo, Scoop bearing down, or pardon me, his stats bear out what you were just talking about. Opponent's hitting just .229 against him. And his ERA, which is really, at the end of the day, the one stat that we probably should focus on the most, is are you giving up runs? You may be giving up base runners, but are they coming home to score? He's got a sub-2 ERA at 1.95.
Yeah, again, he's just a quality pitcher. We watched him last year when we covered Tenora and Archbold at Tenora. And again, he does a great job of just really keeping you off stride.
This one, short hops. Langendorfer, and the wild pitch is going to allow Borton down to second base.
Well, right now, both teams kind of out of character, giving up some freebies right now. That's a big 90 feet right there, because now a 2-out hit could score the game's first run as Borton's on second base.
Gomez checks and takes a strike on the black. Noah Gomez hitting .370 on the season. He has played and started all 17 games for Defiance this season. He's got 20 RBI. Number 21 is now in scoring position, but he swings and fouls this one away.
A great job by Castillo once again. That time he just elevated the fastball. Again, just setting him up here, I think, for the curveball coming, low and away as Castillo's up 1-2.
Runner breaks. This one, a ground ball up the middle and into center field. Coach Weaver will wave Borton around third, and well played. Aggressive offensively by Defiance, and they break the scoreboard first, 1-0 on a 2-out RBI single by Noah Gomez.
A tremendous job by this Defiance offense. After 2 quick outs, they string together back-to-back 2-strike, 2-out hits. And you combine that with that wild pitch in between, Defiance gets an early gift, and they take the lead over Archbold 1-0.
Trying to keep the line moving as Cody Shaw having to ditch his shin guards. The catcher's challenge whenever you're on deck with 2 outs. He will now stroll to the plate, take a couple of practice swings. Cody hitting .380 on the season.
He's also been a big RBI man for the Bulldogs as well, a guy you love to have up with runners on base.
Uh-oh, throw gets away from Piercefield, and that's going to allow, is that going to allow 90 feet or, nope, just 90. Checking in as Gomez was taking a look at Coach Weaver. Well, both teams have been kicking the ball around the infield here in the early going, Scoop. Very uncharacteristic for both squads.
Yeah, right now the defense is just trying to do maybe a little bit too much. As we've seen both teams out of character throw the ball around. An extra 90 feet for Defiance. And right now with 2 outs, you want to be greedy if you're the Defiance Bulldogs. You got an early run, that's great. Try to make it a crooked number here. look for that third consecutive 2-out hit right here.
Langdorfer went out to have a talk with Castillo with a runner at second, most likely going over second sign indicator. This one again low, and it scoots away from Langdorfer, and the wild pitch, second of the inning, will allow an extra 90 feet for Gomez.
And right now, that's big. You got a guy on third base. Even though there's 2 outs, now you're probably going to get a little bit better pitch to hit if you're a hitter. You don't want to bury a 59-foot curveball, and that's what Castillo likes to do. So right now, if you're Shaw, you need to stay locked in. Look for something you can drive.
Chopper to short, sets up nicely on a second hop for Garcia, and a low throw gets away from Piercefield. He couldn't pick it. One run is home. There'll be a play at second. Not in time. Wow.
Well, right now, having completed an inning, we have a total of 4 errors, 2 by each team. We also have multiple wild pitches. All in all, Defiance is the team that's cashed in as the Bulldogs now lead 2-0. And Khalil Ligon, the senior, hitting .271, trying to keep the line moving here with 2 outs.
Well, Defiance with a couple of errors in the top of the first, but we're able to survive them. Archbold unable to do so here as 2 runs have come home as Ligon digs in. Khalil was really working on some stuff during batting practice before the game. 1-0 the count as Castillo checks the runner at second. This one a chopper up the middle, and oh, what a snare by Gracia, and the throw on the money. Stealing away a base hit and quite possibly an RBI. But with it, Defiance still puts 2 runs across on 2 hits, 2 errors, and 1 left aboard. We're through 1. Defiance 2. Archbold nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need
to make your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
There you get a good look at a pretty healthy crowd on hand here this afternoon as the rain has moved out of the area. A couple of baseball tradition-rich programs going head-to-head finally after at least 1 postponement. But Defiance with 2 runs on 2 hits, but 2 crucial errors and 2 wild pitches for Archbold in the bottom half of the first, spelling the difference. No runs on 1 hit, couple of errors committed by the Defiance defense, but Coach Weaver went out after the second throwing error and preached a little fire and got the guys locked back in. So we'll wait and see how Garrison Smitty responds here with a lead in the early going.
Yeah, and I'm certainly behind what Coach Weaver did right there. I might have did
Absolutely.
a little bit sooner because, again, just really some careless mistakes. No reason to be throwing the ball around like they were. Just really out of sync, and you have to have your A game. This is baseball. If you don't play the full game, those are the things that can come back to bite you, especially when you have the lofty goals that Defiance have, especially when you have the target on your back that a Defiance has. So you've got to answer that bell each and every inning. And right now, you're looking good, surviving a rough first inning and ahead of the second inning up 2.
And you see Garrison Smitty finishes his last warm-up. I will say this, watching the infield, and they're going to meet up here before the start of this inning, but a lot of the throws were taking Khalil Ligon off the bag. Look, it's tough. You're undefeated. You're 17-0. With that comes pressure night in, night out. And this week in particular, where they play, I think, every night this week, Scoop, I know it can wear on you. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, they're 17, they're 18 years old. They got a lot of oil in their joints. I don't care who you are. When you play every single night, and plus let's not forget you're still going through the rigors of BP, infield. It's tough sometimes to bring 100% of the time.
Well, that's always a challenge for any coach because, again, these are 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. So you got to get them to live in the moment. You have to have that next pitch mentality. You got to win the next pitch. You got to flush the last one. And all you can work on is that what's coming next. And we heard that with Coach Weaver before the game about that next game mentality. The most important game on the schedule is always the next one, and I couldn't agree more.
Designated hitter Zach Short leading things off for the Blue Streaks, followed by Isaiah Gracias in the on-deck circle. A swing and a miss, a Premier Bank strikeout on 3 straight pitches. That's number 2 for Garrison Smitty to open up the second inning.
Oh, what a great sequence that time from Garrison Smitty. He did a nice job of mixing things up. He got the hitter in the 0-2 count, and then he elevates one. And his second Premier Bank strikeout of the afternoon.
So here's Isaiah Garcia. It's too tough. You want to say Garcia. It's Gracia. And he enters today's contest hitting .244, on-base percentage of .370. It's one of the things, again, looking up and down the lineup for this Blue Streak roster, Scoop, you see some averages that might look okay. They're not going to bowl you over. But on-base percentages are very good as a slow 2-hopper to second. Gomez taking his time a little bit, 2 away.
Well, you're right, and so that's why if you're Garrison Smitty, you just have to lock in. You have to work on getting those first pitch strikes across. He's done a good job of that so far. That's really been the only blemish, I think, when you look at his season he's had this year. He's hurt himself with some walks, but, boy, he's been awfully effective, as we mentioned. Opponents hitting just 132 off Smitty this season.
Joe Williams digs in and takes a first pitch strike. Second baseman for the Blue Streaks, hitting 5 points below the Mendoza line at $1.95. Swings and misses there. That had a little bit of extra pop to it.
Well, a great job by Schmidt. Again, he's making awfully tough these Archbold hitters, changing speeds, doing a good job of moving the baseball upstairs and down, and now has another 0-2 count, this time on Joe Williams.
Just off the corner. Wow.
That's a great pitch. He hit a spot. He was trying to get that wide strike in river. He hit the glove, but just a couple inches outside. Count still in Smitty's favor at 1-2. Yep.
See what he decides to do. Let's take a look at the big 6'7" lefty. On the way. Nice job by Shaw to try and bring it back across the plate, but it started a little too far outside. All right, so you nibbled. I don't want to say you wasted a couple pitches, but certainly one. But at 2-2 right here, do you just come after
You
him?
go right down Main Street. You got 2 outs going on. You got a 195 hitter. You don't fool around getting a 3-ball count, and there it is.
Rode the ladder on him.
Premier Bank strikeout by Garrison Smitty. His third of the afternoon. The Streaks are retired in order in the top of the second.
No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through 1.5. No change in our score. Bulldogs 2, Blue Streaks nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Back at Defiance, bottom of the second, brings up the bottom of the order for the host Bulldogs, 7, 8, and 9. Designated hitter, freshman Colt Ward. Senior left fielder Abel Rubio on deck, and senior shortstop Brad Zippel in the hole. On the bump for a second inning's worth of work, the Archbold ace, Jace Castillo. Couple of wild pitches, couple of errors, and all of a sudden, a couple of runs. We'll see if he and his teammates can settle down defensively. I still get the feeling, Scoop, and I don't think anybody would be surprised if this game became or finished as a pitcher's duel.
Well, I agree. You look back at that first inning, Castillo got 2 quick outs, had 2 quick strikes, just a strike away from a 1-2-3 inning, but yet Defiance found a way to grind out a couple runs. So I think that's going to be huge, especially in a game, as you mentioned. Probably not going to be a ton of runs. I think runs will be a premium most of the afternoon.
0-1, limed into center field. You could see Bentley think about charging it, but that toughest ball any outfielder will tell you is the ball hit right at you, and he just didn't get a good gauge on it until it hit the turf for a leadoff single.
Great job by Colt Ward. He's a guy hitting .476 from the 7th spot, leads off the inning with a solid knock. And now Abel Rubio here, probably a bunt scenario coming up for the Bulldogs, trying to find a way just to win an inning here, up by 2, trying to expand their lead.
He squares to bunt, hitting just a .182. This one's going to drift foul up the third base line.
Nice job by Harrison Wise that time, the third baseman for the Blue Streaks, coming in, making sure that ball crossed that foul line in foul territory before he grabbed it. It'll be a quick first strike against Rubio, but look for him to continue sacking here on the 0-1 count, trying to find a way to get the freshman Colt Ward into scoring position.
I'm looking at Weiss over at third. He's a couple of steps in front of the bag. Rubio squares to bunt. Takes for a ball.
Yeah, really surprised that Castillo was not thrown over the first base just to make sure Rubio was going to show his hand. That time a good hold by Rubio, and the count evens up at 1-1.
Castillo deals. Whoa, high and tight. A little chin music, and Rubio able to lean out of the way.
Yeah, right now, if you're Jace Castillo, you have to take the out here. You have to force Rubio to get the bunt down, not allow him to get in a 3-ball count.
2-1. This one pushed back towards the first base side of the mound. Castillo's only play at first. Boy, the throw was wide, but a nice pick, or more like stab by Piercefield. So they get the out, but the sacrifice does what it was intended, as Ward is now down at second base.
Yeah, that throw was sailing wide there, and Broden Piercefield did a great job of getting the glove on it, hanging on to it, as there's a little contact there with Rubio running through the base. But a good sacrifice bunt that time from Abel, and now an RBI situation for Brett Ziffel.
Ziffel digs in. Senior shortstop fouls the first pitch back. There's no other way to describe it, folks. He's been in a slump, hitting just a .163. This is a young man that was up around 280, 285 most of last season. Got hot late and hit over 300. But he is, by Coach Weaver's own admission, in his own head a little bit. I watched him during BP in the cages earlier today. And, Scoop, part of the problem is when you're gripping a little tight. And it's so tough to understand, especially even as a veteran senior like Brez Ziffel. I'm watching his body language right now, and he just looks tight. He looks tense as he steps in. And Coach Weaver and I were mentioning it. Jack Dahm, the old Iowa coach that I had a lot of time, had plenty of stories and a few cool beverages with, but he said it's easy to see as this one, a grounder right back up the middle. Castillo will go to second and airmails it into center field. Nice job by Bentley to back up the play, not allowing Ward to advance. So Ziffel is aboard. But my goodness, both teams continue to throw the ball around the infield.
Yeah, that was a mental breakdown that time by Castillo. He did a smart thing of checking the runner back, but once you get the runner sprint back to second, take the second out of the inning, the easy play at first. But now that turns the lineup over to Logan Hutchison, hitting .400. Also leads the Bulldogs in runs and walks.
Righty-lefty matchup is a swing and a miss. But, Scoop, to finish that thought, he used to use a phrase with the hitters, relaxed focus. He said that sounds like a contradiction in terms, because usually when you think of focus, especially in other sports, football, maybe even basketball, you think about amping things up, about getting intense, about tightening in some cases, and then just go plowing a guy. And Coach Weaver and I were talking about that. It sounds like a contradiction in terms in baseball, but you can be focused, but you need to be relaxed at the same time. As a swing and a miss over the top of an 0-2 pitch with first base occupied, that's going to be a strikeout for a huge second out of the inning.
Yeah, it's a big Premier Bank strikeout that time by Castillo. That time Hutchison Down the count 0-2, chasing one downstairs, and with first base occupied, a quick second out for Castillo, trying to get out of this second inning unscathed.
Stockman digs in, bunts foul up the third base line.
Well, I like the idea by Stockman. You've got a young third baseman. You've got multiple runners on base. Even though there's 2 outs, put a little pressure in this Archbold defense, who's thrown the ball around here a little bit in the early going this afternoon.
0-1, 2 down, 2 aboard. 2-0 our score here in the bottom of the second, but Defiance trying to add on. Castillo from the belt. Fastball, and he was looking something else. That swing was pretty much all arm there. He wanted to reach out and offer, but that is not the prototypical swing you're going to see from Cohen Stockman.
And right now you got to be smart if you're Jace Castillo. You've already given up 1-0-2 hits, so nothing too good. Try to get Stockman to expand the zone here with 2 strikes.
Castillo got him swinging as the bottom fell out. It's strike 3, but with that being the third out, and again, the throw gets away from the first baseman Piercefield. A run is going to come home, and Zipfa will slide into third. Now again, Langendorfer is claiming runner's interference or batter's interference, but Scoop, he got on that ball late. He didn't give himself a very good angle. If he'd taken about another step, maybe 2 to his left, that's a much easier throw.
Well, you're right. You know, that was a fresh mistake by Trip Langendorfer that time. He thought, it looked like his body language was first base is occupied, so that's a strikeout.
No,
but with 2 outs, that negates first base being covered, so he did not give himself an angle, had to deal with a runner. Piercefield just couldn't pick the baseball up. And another gift run by Defiance, and Defiance has extended the lead here to 3-0, and they're still looking for more with runners on the corner and 2 outs.
Now the runner Ward scores all the way from second. Zipfel stops at third. And double steal is on, and the run will score as they go to first base. They get him. But Mark Weidenhammer pointing at the plate as Zipfel had scored well before the third out was tagged. And that's going to be another 2 runs for Defiance here in the bottom of the second. They only pick up 1 hit, but again, a couple of crucial errors makes it 4-0 Defiance as we head to the top of the third. We're back after this on DCTV Sports.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Top of the third, we've got a little bit of light rain coming down. You can see the umbrellas are out. The skies are darkening just a little bit over the field here. We had some rain. It wasn't very heavy earlier this afternoon. I know that there was a second front that was supposed to come through. Supposed to be very quick. And again, you got the benefit of lights. You got the benefit of turf, so they'll play here. 2 runs coming across in the bottom of the last frame for the Bulldogs. They've got 4 runs on just 3 hits. They've committed 2 errors. On the flip side for Archbold, no runs on 1 hit and 4 crucial errors to go along with 3 wild pitches. And doesn't matter how you get them, Scoop. They all count officially on the scoreboard.
No, you're right. And credit Defiance. They're finding ways to score with 2 outs. You know, that's been awfully big here. Not giving away at bats. And right now, Garrison Schmitty looking for that shutdown inning after his offense just put up 2 more big runs.
Well, he'll face his counterpart, Jace Castillo, who digs in from the right side and fouls his first pitch back. Castillo. Takes. Always, you can't be too quick with Mark Weidenhammer behind the plate. He is very deliberate in his calls.
You know, he's been that way for a long time. Very consistent umpire, very solid umpire. Mark's done a great job over the years.
1-1 popped into right center field. Borton drifting over, likewise as Stockman, but the center fielder takes charge and puts the leather to it for the first out here in the top of the third.
A great start by Schmidt. You know, anytime you have a lead, you want to pitch with a lead. So you attack the zone. You don't fall behind the hitters. You try to get that first pitch strike across. He's done a great job. Right now has only surrendered one base runner, and that was that two-out hit by Colin Short back in the first inning.
Here's Broden Piercefield. Long swing as the bottom fell out of that pitch, strike one.
Yeah, nasty looking bender that time from Schmitty, but a big no-no there from Piercefield. Early in the count, you need to be selective. You're not swinging at just any strike or any pitch. There's a good hold as that time, it looks like Schmitty tried to double him up. He went right back to that same pitch he had just moments ago where Piercefield was fishing.
1-1. Schmitty deals. Swing and a miss, strike two.
That's a good-looking fastball. You know, after you double him up with back-to-back benders, he comes with that heater, and at 6'7", that ball gets on you a little bit quicker than it normally would.
This one, a lazy chopper, foul, third base side. Piercefield will take his time trotting back to pick up his bat. He'll have to be protecting here with the count 1-2. The 1-2, Smitty stares in. Deals. Got him swinging. Strike three for another Premier Bank strikeout.
Tremendous sequence that time by Garrison Schmitty. He really set him up with a couple nice benders. Then he went with the heat here right at the knees. And right now, Schmitty is dealing. 2 quick outs for the Streaks here in this third inning.
4 strikeouts through 9 batters as the lineup will turn over. Anderson Bentley struck out looking to lead off the ball game. Third inning, second trip. And this one paints the black on the outside corner.
A great start by Schmitty. Going right after Bentley, who's had a solid freshman season for the Streaks, hitting north of 300. A guy that's also got great wheels.
Up around the letters, this one chopped right in front of the mound. Smitty takes his time, and woo, the ball was bobbled, but they're going to say controlled by Khalil Ligon, and that will make it a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left the board. Quickly moving through 2.5. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Bulldogs 4, Blue Streaks nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
In life, unexpected challenges can test us. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, you deserve a team that understands. Because your story matters. Call Arthur Law Firm today. We'll fight for you every step of the way.
Bottom of the third. Now you take a look at very good-looking crew tending ball. And what's he got there? A piece of pizza? Oh, what is that? It's fork and knife food. What have they got? Is that actually concession stand food here this afternoon? What is that?
I'm sure it's on its way up to the press box,
yeah,
whatever
I'm sure
it is.
It is not. Goodness gracious. I couldn't eat it today anyway, but just the same, we're feasting on some good high school baseball here as we welcome you back. Bottom of the third will bring up 4, 5, and 6. Gomez, Shaw, and Ligon. All to take their second cuts of the afternoon against Archbold starter Jace Castillo. Check this. This should be Brady Borton. I take that back. He was in the batter's box when the pick happened to end the second inning. So Brady Borton will lead off this frame. It'll be 3, 4, and 5. Meat of the order. Borton 1 for 1 with a single. Took second on a wild pitch, and then on a piece of aggressive base running. The hit and run was on. He came home to score on a 2-out single by Noah Gomez as he swings through this one. Strike one.
Good-looking 2-0 pitch that time by Castillo as Borton had the green light all the way.
This one just a bit inside. 3-1.
That's a great hold by Borton. Good hitters hit good pitches, so lay off the marginal pitches. Now he's in a 3-ball count, and there he goes fishing.
Yep.
Nasty-looking curveball that time from Castillo.
That is Castillo's out pitch. The coaching staff told us it falls off the table. This is a liner tip to himself and then caught with his meat hand by Joe Williams. It was in and out of his glove, popped straight up. He stayed with it and caught it with his bare hands.
Oh, what a nifty play that time by Joe Williams. That looked like base hit all the way. He was able to lunge, get a glove on it, but it popped out of his leather. But as you said, Brent, the meat hand comes down with it. Fine-looking play there by Williams. And Borton denied his second hit of the afternoon.
That's just a tremendous defensive play by the junior second baseman. As digging in from the right side, Noah Gomez fouls away this pitch up the third base line.
Boy, I don't remember Williams making that play in gym class for me back a few years ago.
Gomez 1 for 1, checks his swing here as this one's downstairs. Hearing a little bit of energy now come from the Defiance dugout. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. He takes something off of that.
That's a nasty pitch right there. You know, kind of a BP fastball, but again, he took a little off. He kept it downstairs. And that one's going to be about a 52-foot curveball.
I was going to say, what second number were you going to use with 50? Because I don't think it even got to the dirt, did it?
No, at 52 might be generous on that one. That time release point just wasn't there for Jace. But you flush it, you win the next pitch.
Yep.
You got him in a 2-strike count.
2-2 on the way. Castillo deals. The bottom falls out of this one, strike 3. And this time Langendorfer says, I got a hold of it, and they will say you don't have to throw down to first. So another Premier Bank strikeout, this time for Castillo, makes it 2 away.
Great job by Castillo. That was more a true 12-6 curveball. That had a lot of late dip to it. And a third Premier Bank strikeout for Castillo. Trying to retire the Bulldogs in order here in this third inning.
Here's Shaw digging in. Cody was out in front of that pitch, couldn't quite gauge it, and takes strike 1. Castillo looking to retire Defiance, scoreless for the first inning today, and this one again buried about the front of the batter's box. So 1-1. Castillo with a deep breath out of the windup. Okay, Scoop, is this a release point issue? Is it a mechanical issue? It's about the third, maybe the fourth time that he's buried one well shy of home plate.
Well, remember, you know, he's playing on turf, which he's not used to. He's pitching in tennis shoes, which he's not used to. So I think that's more to do with his stride foot landing than it has to do with anything else.
This one fouled away. Sean was way out in front of it. Sauce for the Goose. It's now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shaw will wait before he digs back in. Senior catcher will be continuing his career at the University of Findlay next season. As he got him way out in front, strike 3. They're going to say you have to go down to first on this one. Another Premier Bank strikeout, score at 2-3. And for the first time this afternoon, the Bulldogs kept off the board in their half of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. 3 are in the books. Defiance 4. Archbold nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Ohio is in a foster care crisis. Kids with real needs, medical, emotional, behavioral, are waiting for homes. Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care is looking for families ready to make a difference. You've thought about it, now it's time. Contact Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care today.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
There we go. Field level. There's a future Bulldog. Might take him a few years, but he's already got the bug. Top of the fourth as we welcome you back. Skies just a little bit darker, but the rain holding off. 4 runs on 3 hits. A couple of uncharacteristic errors for Defiance. No runs on 1 hit. 4 errors for the Blue Streaks. Garrison Smitty, you see big number 44, the tall 6'7" lefty. Looking to continue his scoreless inning streak here this afternoon. He will face 2, 3, and 4. Langendeffer, Short, and Thompson. Archbold, the Blue Streaks, with those, can't call them quite powder blue uniforms, although they're close. Very reminiscent of the Milwaukee Brewers, especially from the early to mid-'80s.
They just made their debut last year. Kind of a retro look for Archbold, who was kind of that Columbia blue at times, late 70s, early 80s. I mean, they mixed in some royal blue during those times as well. But in recent years, in fact, the last couple of decades, they've been navy blue.
All blue, usually, again, and I know fashions change, let's put it that way. But I like the mix of color, usually. I mean, if you're colors, and how often do you hear teams or programs say our colors, plural, are, go ahead and wear them. Defiance electing to go with the blue tops, the white tops, with the blue trousers with the white pinstripes this afternoon, as time being asked for and granted for Trip Langendeffer, as he will dig in 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field back in the first. Smitty deals, works the inside corner, it's off the mark. Outfield, for the most part, straight away. Normal play depth, maybe a little shallow, especially Rubio in left. 1-1 the count. This one short hops Cody Shaw by a couple of feet. Smitty not happy with himself. 2-1.
Langendeffer's the guy you want leading things off. He's got a .561 on-base percentage, just unreal. Especially you think this guy's just a freshman up there. Well, his dad, Tyson, played on the 1995 Wauseon State Championship team. Also a team, I think, his junior year made it down to the Final Four in Columbus, only to fall in the semis.
He's looking at a 3-1 pitch here, and that's going to be the first free pass allowed by Garrison Smitty here this afternoon, but it comes as a leadoff walk here in the top of the fourth.
Great job on Langendeffer. Right now, the Streaks just need to find a way to dent the scoreboard. You don't have to get all 4 runs back, but you want to get something going. You haven't had much traffic on the bases, and now we'll see Schmitty here go from the stretch with Langendeffer on first, no one out.
Lazy throw over just to keep him honest. Short. Hitting .344 on the season. Digging in, trying to get something going here for the Blue Streaks. Smitty checks the runner. High and tight fastball, swing and a miss.
Yeah, that time Short expanded the zone there early in the count, a no-no, especially against a guy like Schmitty.
Langendeffer hasn't gone often this season. As a matter of fact, just a couple of times, but he is 2 for 2. Late decision to swing there by Short.
Well, Langendeffer's got good speed, but I think in this scenario he's not going anywhere.
No.
I think everybody knows that, especially Archbold Blue Streak head coach Jeff Brunswick, whose nephew Cody Shaw is the Defiance catcher. He knows how good Shaw is, so he's really not going to roll the dice here early on.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Snap throw down to first. The tag is there, but not in time.
Great job by Shaw, right on cue there. Good snap throw to Ligon, come from behind. Langendorfer just under the tag there, coming on the backside of the base.
5th strikeout in 11 hitters for Garrison Smitty. 1 away, brings up the cleanup hitter, C.J. Aurora Thompson. This one popped up right side. Park won't hold it.
Right now, Schmidt doing a good job. You know, he's cognizant of the fact you want to keep the double play in order, but you don't have to really get too concerned, I think, at first base. Get those first pitch strikes like he did on Thompson Arroyo, and look for that heavy fastball to get you out of this inning.
0-1, another snap throw down to first. It short hops Ligon. Whoa, and Ligon had kept the baseball, and unbeknownst to Langendorfer, he almost took his hand off that bag.
It looked like a fresh mistake about to unfold, but Langendorfer certainly was safe.
1-1. Smitty from the stretch. Strike on the outside corner. Shaw bluffs the throw. So 1-2. 1 aboard, 1 away here in the top of the 4th with Defiance up 4-0. Thompson 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. Really took a nifty play on a charge by the shortstop Brez Ziffel, who barehanded the grounder. Got him by about a good step and a half. Check swing in the dirt. First base is occupied. They don't have to go down there. There's another Premier Bank strikeout, 2 away.
Great job by Schmidt. That's what you can do when you get hitters in negative counts. You can expand the zone. That time you went downstairs with that bender. Gracia just could not hold up. And right now, 6 Premier Bank strikeouts for the senior, Garrison Schmidt.
So with 2 down, that'll bring up the left-handed hitting DH, Zach Short, late on his first swing. Oh and 1, Zach entered today's contest hitting a handful below the Mendoza line at $194. Looking at the 0-1. This one a very late chopper back to the left side of the mound. Smitty can take his time, makes a strong throw, and has done a good job of fielding his position here this afternoon. So despite giving up the leadoff walk, no damage done, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left aboard. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Bulldogs up 4-0. You're watching DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Another look at those. How many future Defiance baseball players, varsity baseball players, are in that shot? What do you think? Gonna have to wait quite a bit, maybe even another 5 or 6 years for that youngster. Although Dad looks extremely athletic, so if the bloodlines pass the eye test, maybe a future All-Stater. Bottom of the 4th, 4 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors for Defiance, no runs on 1 hit, 4 errors for Archbold. 6, 7, and 8, Ligon, Ward, and Rubio to take their cuts against Jace Castillo. Castillo has struggled, hasn't been the recipient of some of the strongest defense behind him, but he's also thrown one away on a pickoff, an errant throw on a pickoff attempt at first. He's also had a couple of wild pitches, so right now we'll see if he can settle in. He got his first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game just a frame ago, Scoop.
And again, he really has done a nice job. He's only given up 1 earned run, but as you mentioned, so many miscues by both teams here this afternoon.
Boy, Ligon takes a massive cut at a first pitch fastball, fouls it straight back.
Again, nothing wrong with being aggressive early, especially when you get the fastball early in the count. You just don't want to miss it and foul it back, and that's what Ligon did right there.
0-1 lifts this one into shallow center field. On his horses, Bentley lays out, and he can't come up with it. Nobody's covering the bag. This is going to be a play at second. There's a collision, and they got him. Boy, credit Gracia for hustling back to cover the bag, because I saw the same thing Ligon did as he rounded first. There was a trio in shallow right center field with nobody at second base.
Well, Gracia really bailed him out because Jace Castillo was sitting there observing the play. He was on the mound. He should have been the first guy to go to second base on a blooper to center, and Bentley did not get a read on that baseball at all. He got an awfully late break on that. That's typically a ball he's going to catch. But a good heads-up play there by Gracia. They're able to nail Ligon, trying to stretch that into a double.
So it will go down as a single, but then a 4-6 put out as Ward launches this one into the left center field gap, and it's going to roll a long way. The freshman loping his way around first into second with a one-out double.
Well, I've said it before. He's just a professional hitter. He's got such a nice swing. And, again, I like Defiance being early. When you get the pitch in your wheel well, you don't have to lay off. They come out swinging. Great job that time by the freshman, Colt Ward. Comes up with a one-out double.
Ward 2 for 2 this afternoon. Singled and scored back in the second. One-out double here in the fourth. We'll see if Abel Rubio can chase him home. Rubio, no official at bat as he laid down a sacrifice a couple innings ago. He takes a strike here.
Well, that's a good hold there by Rubio. That was a nasty 12-6 hammer that time from Castillo that painted the inside edge.
Castillo steps off, looks the runner back to second. Rubio hitting a $182. But up 4-0 with only one down here and a runner in scoring position. Golden opportunity to pick up an RBI. Castillo deals. This one a chopper to third. Weiss looks the runner back, but the throw takes Piercefield off the bag, and everybody's going to be safe.
And again, Archbold right now just having all kinds of difficulty on the defense. That should have been an easy second out. Instead, a really incredible play by Broden Piercefield. You know, a lot of times a first baseman will try to stay on the base, make the impossible play. He did a great job getting off the base. Made a tremendous pick there. Trying to work his way on the all-scoop team with that pick right there.
So instead of 2 down and a runner at second, whoa, as Zippel squares to bunt and takes a little chin music as he pulls back. There's 1 away with 2 aboard. Zippel reached on what would have been a fielder's choice. It ended up being an error on the throw. Came around to score 1 of 2 runs as he shows bunt here and takes a strike.
Yeah, I have no problem with Zippel in this situation. That time, what that does, that moves the infield in, and now if he's swinging away, a hard ground ball might end up being an RBI single.
Right now, the middle is pinching in, looking for a ground ball potential double play. This one fouled in front of the third base dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And right now, if you're Zippel, you need that 2-strike approach. Put the ball in play. He's been a high strikeout guy this year. Right now, put a little pressure in the streak defense, especially with multiple runners on base and just 1 out.
The 1-2.
Boy, that's a big-time play by Langendorfer. That looked like it was going to be another wild pitch. It was going to allow Defiance to move up a free 90. Instead, great job by the freshman Langendorfer to keep that ball in front and, more importantly, keep that double play in order.
2-2 on the way. Castillo deals. Tight swing, ground ball to second. They'll flip to second for 1. The relay, Williams to Gracia to Piercefield. Score at 4-6-3, and the inning is over on the double play. So Defiance turned away for the second straight inning despite getting the 1-out double by Colt Ward. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left the board. 4 are in the books. As you see a frustrated Defiance senior shortstop. We're back after this on DCTV Sports.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
There's a good look from the backstop to the center field batter's eye here at Defiance. As top of the fifth. No change in our score. Host Bulldogs at 17-0, taking on the 12-9 Archbold Blue Streaks. And there in the foreground, you see the field umpire, Jay Moran. A little warm-up taking place in right field as Cohen Stockman finishes his warm-ups. We had some uncharacteristic defensive mistakes through the first couple of innings of this ball game, and Defiance took advantage of them. Archbold did not. And as it stands right now, the hosts, I guarantee you they would say this hasn't been their prettiest game, but they lead 4-0 as Garrison Smitty will look for another 1-2-3 inning. He's got 3 in a row after the first.
If you're Archbold, just plug away right here. You're still in this ball game. You're just one big inning away from putting a lot of pressure on Defiance. So right now, find a way to set the table until the bats kind of get unwound. Usually, by the third time through, you're usually seeing the ball pretty well. But right now, they just love to find a way to scratch out a run here in this fifth frame.
Isaiah Gracias. Oh, a liner to first, snared by Khalil Ligon. All 6'4" of the first baseman's frame, and he needed every bit of it as he steals a leadoff single away from Gracia.
Oh, that's a big-time play there by the senior Khalil Ligon. That was highway robbery. That ball was heading to right field all the way off the bat of Gracia. But great job there by Ligon to take away a base hit. And if you're Garrison Smitty, take advantage.
Yes.
Pound the zone. You've got your defense starting to play behind you here.
Joe Williams will dig in. 0 for 1, struck out swinging to end the second inning. We saw Zipfel with the web gem to end the first. We see Ligon with a web gem to open up the fifth. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Actually, it looks like he fouled that straight back.
A nice job by Schmidt. He falls behind, but he comes right back with a quality fastball to get back in the count 1-1. Now the most important pitch in baseball, that 1-1 count. Do you get the hitter in a hole 1-2, or do you put him in a hitter's count at 2-1? This is the pitch you want to get to. You always tell your guys within 3 pitches you want to have 2 strikes on your hitter.
Williams hitting sub 200 entering today's game. His average has dipped another couple points, 0 for 1. Late swing fouled, and you could hear the thud. And we have Mark Weidenheimer asking for a ball that apparently nobody was aware of, was laying just outside the on-deck circle.
Yeah, that's smart. If you're going to have that ball in the on-deck circle, it's supposed to be in your pocket, not on the turf. On a pop foul, you could step on it, roll an ankle. So I like the fact that he made sure that that ball was picked up.
Rick Weaver went out, I think, to make sure he was okay.
I think Weaver was saying, hey, how can you see the ball in the on-deck circle 35 feet away and you can't see that strike my guy's throwing?
We'll ask in the postgame. 1-2. This one misses in the cellar. I was joking with Mark Weidenheimer when I went down because he was the only man that was of the 2 umpiring crew that was down around the dugout. And I said, who's your partner in crime? I said, ooh, off speed, foul tip, but hung on to by Shaw for a Premier Bank strikeout. That would be number 6.
7.
Is it 7?
Number 7 there for Garrison Smitty. Great job. And again, you can do that when you're controlling the count, and Smitty's done that to perfection here this afternoon. He's done a great job. He's only been in 1 3-ball count all afternoon. So he's done a nice job attacking the zone early and often.
So 2 up, 2 down. That brings up his counterpart, Jace Castillo. This one, get me over fastball for a strike. Smitty has only faced 2 batters over the minimum all day long. Swing and a miss. This one into the dirt. 0-2, and now he's got him where he wants him.
And again, when you control the count, you really put pressure on the hitter. You know, there's over a 200-point difference in high school when you're in a hitter's count, when you're in a negative count. And right now, a negative count, boy, that batting average drops in a hurry. We'll see what Smitty comes up with here on the 0-2 with 2 outs.
The 0-2 is on the way. This one, late swing, fouled in front of the first base dugout.
Great job by Smitty that time. That's a ball that's off the plate a little bit with a 2-strike approach. You go after it. And that time, great job there by Castillo to spoil it. But Jay still in a hole here at 0-2.
This one chopped. Is that a fair ball? It's in fair territory. Is it off of his foot? He did not run, and Mark Weidenheimer is going to call foul ball as Coach Weaver coming out and getting the explanation, but apparently it's acceptable to him.
Great job by Castillo to sell that. There's no way he's going to beat that thing out.
See some of the softball players finishing up their practice over to support their fellow teammates. So the 0-2. Check swing. Did he? Yep, foul ball. Do want to remind you, Thursday, Defiance softball is in action. First round of the sectionals. I believe is it Lima Senior, is that right?
That's correct.
We will have that game for you on Thursday. 0-2, Smitty looking for another 1-2-3 inning. This one, a shot up the middle on the second hop deep with a foot on the grass. That's nothing but a stroll in the park for Brez Zipfel. Score at 6-3, and indeed, it's a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. 4.5 in the books. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Defiance up 4-0. You're watching DCTV Sports. Bottom of the 5th, the skies are getting just a little bit darker in the distance, but right now the rain is holding off. Defiance 4 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors. Archbold no runs on just 1 hit. They've only had 2 base runners the entire game. 1 hit, 1 walk. That's all Garrison Smitty has allowed. And 5 miscues in the field by the Blue Streaks. It's all led to a 4-0 lead as Jace Castillo. This is their regular season finale, Scoop. I know we were talking with the coaching staff. I think it was right before you got there. They have purposefully added 2 more games because they didn't want to wait a little over a week before they got their first sectional game in. Now, for those that may not follow high school baseball as much as other sports, the playoffs getting started a week later than usual this season, and Archbold just didn't want to sit around twiddling their thumbs.
Well, Jeff Brunswick's no stranger to high school playoffs. He was a part of the 1987 Coldwater State Championship team. He also was an assistant coach at Archbold when the Blue Streaks won the state championship in 2005. So he knows a little bit about trying to make tournament runs, so he wants to keep his guys fresh. And again, when you're playing a team like Defiance, you're going to see great pitching, which will prepare you for tournaments where you're going to see everybody's ace, you know, especially the deeper you go in a tournament, you're going to see better and better pitching. You don't want the first time you see a guy that's throwing this effective like Smitty be in that championship game in the district tournament.
1-1 the count. Bottom of the 5th brings up the top of the order Logan Hutchison for his 3rd trip to the plate today. He's He's looking at a 2-1 count now. Hutch 0 for 2 with a ground out to short and a strikeout swinging. Tries to bunt here and comes up empty.
That's a tough pitch to bunt. That's one of those sliders that's got a lot of right to left run on it. And now the count even at 2-2.
Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. They'll have to go down to first. Much better job to set his feet and get a better angle this time by Tripp Langendorfer. 1 away.
You took the words out of my mouth. Now, first of all, he made a tremendous block to keep that in front. A lot of times that's going to be a strikeout wild pitch. Instead, he kept in front, and then he gave himself a good angle. He made that quick drop step, made that play look easy. Great play for the freshman as Castillo gets a Premier Bank strikeout to start things out in Defiance. Half of the 5th inning.
Stockman digs in and takes low. Another thing that he did too, Scoop, that I think you just cannot stress enough, especially with underclassmen. If there's a senior back there or even an experienced junior, that's one thing. But when you got an underclassman, take your time. He didn't need to rush. He didn't need to come flying out of his crouch, throw off his back foot, across his feet. Get the angle, get your feet set, and if you trust your arm, as you saw right there, you got plenty of time.
Well, you're right, but if you know Tripp, he's got a high baseball IQ. So, again, he's really, really not a true freshman, you'd say. This is the guy that's probably played a couple hundred baseball games in his lifetime heading into this high school career. But, again, he did everything right, as you mentioned, Brent. Made that look awfully easy, and that was certainly not an easy play.
3-1 the count here to Stockman. Reached on an error back in the second and is grounded out to short. Takes a strike here.
Oh, that's a great pitch right there by Castillo to get back in the count. Payoff pitch coming up.
This one chopped foul up the first base side. Bugging out. You're going to get another handshake. Yes, we are, but that's okay. As long as you don't cost us our FCC license. I swear when he's done teaching and broadcasting, he will run for office. 3-2 the count on Stockman. This one, a liner opposite field. That's going to get down. Long run over at the foul line by Aureo Thompson. And tell you what, if he doesn't field that cleanly, that's a double. That is a great job. First opportunity by the Blue Streaks left fielder to hustle that down and hold him to a long single.
Yeah, nice job by CJ out there in left field to make a nice backhand glove play. And then he threw off the back foot there, knowing that that might be a leg double. Instead, Grassi is able to cut it off, and it held them to a one-out single here for the Bulldogs.
So that'll bring up Borton. Brady on the afternoon, 1 for 2 with a run scored.
Remember, Stockman's got good wheels. This certainly could be a running scenario for Defiance.
The 1-0. Borton denied his second hit of the afternoon on a spectacular, I can't call it a snare because it was basically a little pinball, but Joe Williams leaped. The ball was in his glove, squirted out, went straight up in the air. He stayed with it, and with his meat hand, made the catch. It was spectacular for the first out in the third. Two and one the count, and he'll ask for time. This one misses on the outer third. 3 balls and a strike to Brady Borton. I'm looking down here. I do not see a walk surrendered so far this afternoon by Castillo, and that would be his first.
Yeah, right now both pitchers just allowing 1 walk. That one not a good opportunity time for Castillo, as that's going to set the table here as Stockman moves into scoring position with 1 out. And look out, you got Noah Gomez hitting 377. Yep. Also a guy that's got 20 RBIs for the Bulldogs at the plate. Looking to expand this lead.
Gomez digs in right on top of the plate. Castillo Deals this one a chopper, and it's going to get through. Base hit. Everybody goes station to station. Stockman stops at third. Borton stops at second. Noah Gomez with a one-out single loads the bases for Cody Shaw.
A great job by Gomez. We talked about the importance when you get that pitch in your nitro zone early, go after it. That's an aggressive swing, aggressive approach by Gomez. But the fact that Stockman couldn't tell if that liner was going to be snagged or not, had to kind of hold up. Great job by Bentley in center field to get that ball in. But the bases
we have
are
lightning.
juiced.
I think they saw lightning in the background, and crew chief Mark Weidenheimer is telling everybody clear the field. Well, we were deep into this ball game. We knew that there was a second front that was coming. The rain had held off, but anytime you see lightning, that is an absolute no-no. So what an interesting place to stop this. 4-0, Defiance with the lead. Only one out here in the bottom of the fifth, and the bases loaded. Cody Shaw will be the hitter, but now if you're Archbold, and I don't know what the pitch count for Castillo is, but it's got to be up there. The question is, how loose can you keep him before he basically ices up and is not going to be able to give you anything more if and when this game does resume?
Well, I think the fact that he's one of their two main starting pitchers, and when you're going to get at least a 30-minute layoff here, I think he's probably going to be done. You know, they've got more important things on the schedule coming up, with tournaments being next week and so forth. So they got a quality outing out of him this afternoon. I mean, he really did his job. You know, 3 of the 4 Defiance runs are unearned. So you hate to see the Lightning come, but you certainly understand their predicament. So,
well, there you see both head coaches exchanging some pleasantries. At least you did see both head coaches exchanging a few pleasantries there. But everybody's off the field but the brain trust for both programs. But I guess the question then becomes, and Scoop, you've got to think about what's on the future docket and not just the here and now. This is not a conference game. Obviously, we technically, where are we at here with one out to be able to call this an official ball game? But you also have to decide, okay, in the overall scheme of things, how long do we want to wait this out? And like you said, with the use of our personnel, what's the most effective thing? Because Defiance is absolutely loaded this week as far as games are concerned.
Yeah, I think it's been big for both teams to get what they've got in so far this afternoon. I mean, obviously both these teams want to play, but you're not going to want to risk an injury on wet turf.
And it is coming down right now.
The most important part of your season just around the corner. You got some good baseball in. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if this will get resumed. This will go down right now, a suspended game. I mean, you need to have, 5 official at-bats for the losing team, which is Archbold right now, but they will have a chance to make this up if they want to at a later time. And who knows, if these teams make runs in the tournament, maybe you schedule a midweek game with them during the week of the districts or regional, and maybe you complete this suspended game at that time. We'll see what happens.
Right now, you can even see from our center field camera, it is coming down fairly heavy. The umbrellas are out, and the fans are scattering. And my guess is they're going to be scattering permanently, but we'll wait and see. But again, with the Lightning, we want to make sure our crew gets in here as well, make sure that they're okay. But this game has been suspended, and for how long, we're not quite sure. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll see if we can't maybe get a little bit better of an idea on where this front is, how fast it's moving, and if indeed this game will be resumed at all. Quick break. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
In life, unexpected challenges can test us. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, you deserve a team that understands. Because your story matters. Call Arthur Law Firm today. We'll fight for you every step of the way.
Ohio is in a foster care crisis. Kids with real needs, medical, emotional, behavioral, are waiting for homes. Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care is looking for families ready to make a difference. You've thought about it, now it's time. Contact Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care today.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need
To make your mental health a priority.
love your mind.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
We are back up in the press box here as the rain is coming down. This game has been suspended for the time being, but we're not sure if it will be resumed. Being told right now it is official, but at the same time, if you can, both teams. I mean, Defiance is up 4-0 here with a 1 out in the bottom of the fifth and the bases loaded. Cody Shaw at the plate. You want to win without any help from Mother Nature, but at this point in time, it is coming down very heavy. The wind has really picked up, and we have not seen the radar. But at this point in time, Scoop Miller has gone down to the dugout to try and get some clarification as to whether or not this game may be resumed, or they might just have to suspend it and see about finishing it up at a later date. But as it stands right now, I don't know if we can get a shot of the scoreboard here, gentlemen. That would be a good one, but there you see the Stars and Stripes. The wind has picked up. It's 4 runs on 7 hits, couple of errors for Defiance, no runs on 1 hit, 5 errors for Archbold. And this is where we sit as both teams played last night. Defiance won 7-2 at Wauseon. Archbold won last night 9-3 against Pettisville. Next up on the docket for both these teams, a few days off for Archbold. It will be on Saturday. They will host Tenora. Now, folks, Tenora is playing a doubleheader on Saturday, but in 2 different stadiums. They will be throwing out the first pitch at noon at Archbold. They have a 4:45 scheduled first pitch right here at Defiance against West Jefferson. So they're going to be making a quick bus ride and hoping that their games, at least their first game, does not get out of hand. On the flip side, it is suit up and get ready to play. A game last night at Wauseon for Defiance as they won 7-2. Tonight versus Archbold. Tomorrow at Shawnee. Then the day after that, home versus Patrick Henry. Then on Friday at St. John's. Then on Saturday, they're home against Fort Wayne Snyder. That's part of the PBR circuit. And then they'll get Sunday off before being right back here again on the 19th against Fairview. That is a game we are scheduled to broadcast. And then on Tuesday, they will host Whitmer. So basically in the next week, Scoop, what, 1 day? That is a lot of baseball to try and cram into a very short amount of time.
It's a really good baseball, too, as the teams you mentioned. I think especially here at that PBR Classic here at Defiance on Saturday, you're going to see some outstanding programs from multi-states. Mm-hmm. But, again, I think you expect nothing less here at Defiance. We've seen them beef up their schedule. Tonight's a prime example. You're playing a team in Archbold that just won their 19th NWOL title just over a week ago. And, of course, Defiance right now just 2 games away from clinching their 29th ever WBL title. So 2 great programs here getting together just about tournament time. And just unfortunately, the rains came a little bit premature. After talking to both Rick Weaver and Jeff Brunswick, they would have loved to have got this thing into full completion without having to sit it out. But they'll sit it out a little bit here and see what they can do. They'd love to get it in, but right now not looking real favorable at this juncture.
I don't know if you can hear it over our camera microphone right now, but there you see the wind has really picked up. It is coming down now in buckets. The good thing here, turf and lights. So that gives you the opportunity, but right now we'll wait and see. But we'll have to maybe see if we can't bring the radar up here and see what this front is doing. But right now it looks like it is sticking around for at least a little bit.
Well, you know, if this was a league game, a tournament game, you might be a little bit more patient and wait things out, use those lights. The fact that this is really a non-league game for both teams. And they got good reps in. They got good performances, I thought, from both Schmitty and Castile out there on the bump. You got your hitters, some ABs. Unfortunately, you threw the ball around a little bit. But, again, those are reasons to come back to practice tomorrow, to come back tomorrow.
Well, we were just shown the radar, and it looks nasty. And I mean like yellow and red. So not just heavy rain, but potentially severe weather.
Yeah, there's no empty pockets in that
no
severe weather either. I mean, it's a wide stretch, and unfortunately looks like we're almost stuck in the middle of it.
Field umpire Jay Moran just walked over to Archbold's dugout. He is, check that, that is Mark Whitenhammer. He is getting absolutely soaked as we speak. And shenanigans, I believe, is the term to use for them in a rain delay. We're seeing the baseball. Hopefully they're using waterproof ink as the team's sending messages to each other back and forth. But I think are they going to bang this one now? Tell you what, let's take a quick timeout. We're going to take another quick break, see if we can't get some clarification. When we come back, you're watching DCTV Sports.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Well, at least you can see the stars and stripes. The wind is howling up, and the rain is just coming down in sheets right now. This game is currently under suspension, although we're thinking, well, we'll wait and see. Banging it? Okay. So it's being postponed. Coach Weaver has just popped his head up here in the press box and letting us know that they are suspending this game with 1 down in the bottom of the 5th, bases loaded in a 4-0 contest. But, Scoop, you're absolutely right. There's just no reason here. You've already burned 2 pitchers if you're both teams. Again, they've got turf, but you know it's going to be greasy. You're going to need time for it to dry out. You're going to need to warm up a second set of pitchers. And obviously, too, you got to get refocused. With this being a non-conference game, if something were riding on this, then we could see that probably not being the case. But I think both teams, both coaches in particular, are well aware there are more important things right now.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a no-brainer. So, credit both these coaches. As bad as they want to play, I think they're certainly doing the right thing. And they did get some innings in. So you got really an official game, so to speak. You went 4.5+ innings. Defiance, as you mentioned, bases loaded. Cody Shaw up right now. Hopefully they'll get a chance to maybe resume it at a later date. But all in all, I think a good day for both these programs. Plenty of reason to come back tomorrow, try to get better. But I also think very good things ahead for both these programs as well.
Well, again, as we mentioned, Archbold has what are we looking at here? 3 days off before they're back in action on Saturday as they host Tenora. And again, you were out downstairs trying to get some clarification on the status of the game scoop, but Tenora has a doubleheader this Saturday at 2 different parks. Noon at Archbold, then they're anticipating being out of there by 3:30 and here at Defiance for a 4:45 first pitch against West Jefferson. So the Rams are going to be well-traveled. They do host Bryan on Friday night, and that's a game that we're going to have here on DCTV. So everybody trying to cram as much ball or makeup dates into the tail end of the regular season as possible.
Well, I love it. That's how you get better, by getting out there in the field playing. So, credit to the Rams for not only having that Major League Baseball schedule this week, but playing at 2 different sites in the same afternoon against 2 really high-caliber teams as well.
On the flip side, Defiance, no rest for the weary. They played last night in a 7-2 win at Wauseon. Tonight, obviously, versus Archbold. Tomorrow at Shawnee. Then Wednesday, home versus Patrick Henry. Thursday at St. John's. They'll make the trip to Toledo. Then on Saturday, home versus Fort Wayne Snyder as part of the PBR circuit. They get Sunday off. Then Monday, home versus Fairview, a game we have scheduled here for you. And then Tuesday versus Whitmer to wrap up the regular season. So they get 1 day off between now and the next Tuesday, and that's Sunday. So they're going to be very, very busy.
Again, I think if you're a kid, you'd want it no other way. I mean, I love that type of schedule. Just couldn't get enough ball any time. You know how it is growing up. So good for these guys. But again, really excited for both these programs. I think Jeff Brunswick, in just his second season as a head coach, is going to do phenomenal things for Archbold. And of course, Rick Weaver in just his second season as head coach. Now, both these guys
long
really
around.
have 30-plus years on the sidelines. So both these guys really have these programs heading in the right direction. And I think there's a lot of exciting times for both these communities ahead.
We also want to remind you that we've got softball coming up this week, Thursday afternoon. 5 o'clock scheduled for a first pitch, as it will be Defiance taking on Lima Senior. The playoffs are here, folks. This will be the first round of sectionals for Coach Parrish and company, and they're hoping to use a little home cooking to make a deep run in the playoffs. Now, they're the number 3 seed coming out of their bracket, so they win. And, everybody will tell you can't win 2 until you win 1. The first game's the most important.
Well, it is. That's what you can't get looking ahead. We talked about that earlier in the broadcast, where the most important game is always that next one. So, you have to maybe like your situation, your positioning, but again, it's baseball.
Yes.
You have to take it, one pitch, one game at a time. And if you do that, typically good things will happen and the scoreboard will take care of itself.
We're going to take a quick timeout as Coach Weaver is up and now making the media circuit here in the press box. We'll get his take on Garrison Smitty and the thoughts behind his team's play leading up to this one suspended here in the bottom of the 5th with the bases loaded, 1 out. Cody Shaw was at the plate in a 4-0 game. When this one will be rescheduled, well, it's as good a guess as anybody's. But we are back with the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center post-game show and the Mark Moats Ford the game recap and stat summary right after this. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching DCTV Sports.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
There you see a few hardy souls, but it's just rained so hard in probably the last 10. Has it even been quite 15 minutes that this one is being suspended in the bottom of the fifth with one out, bases loaded. Defiance leading Archbold by a score of 4-0. It has sent the fans packing, and with it, this broadcast, as we just await Coach Weaver to come up and join us for the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. We'll wait and see when, if they'll be able to reschedule this. Let's go ahead and give you a quick peek at the Mark Moats Ford stat summary and game recap. Serving the Defiance community since 1916, Mark Moats Ford, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Well, both teams kind of kicked the ball around in the early going very uncharacteristically, but Archbold was unable to take advantage of two key errors for Defiance in the first inning, whereas Defiance did. 2 errors and 2 wild pitches brought home the first 2 runs, and after that they never looked back. Brady Borton going 1 for 2 with a run scored today. Noah Gomez going 2 for 3 with a run scored. Colt Ward, he was halfway to the cycle, a single, a double, and a run scored. And Brez Zippel out of the bottom of the order hit into a 4-6-3 double play, but he did reach on a fielder's choice and also picked up a run scored. With that said, the story I think really this afternoon was Garrison Smitty, Scoop. 4 innings, he allows just 1 hit, 1 walk, no runs, and he strikes out 7.
Well, I totally agree. I thought he was really impressive here. You and I had mentioned how we've been wanting to see him pitch.
Yes.
We got a chance this afternoon, and really, not only does he pass the eye test, he really, what impressed me the most, you're always going to look at, wow, no runs, just 1 hit. But what impressed me the most was he was so efficient. He controlled the count. I had him unofficially 61 pitches through 5 innings. So you're throwing 12 pitches an inning. And a guy that's tough to square up, that's really effective. That means he's not getting a lot of 2-ball, 3-ball counts. He did a great job of really controlling those first 3 pitches in the count. He had a lot of first pitch strikes. And I think, as you already mentioned, he had 7 strikeouts, just 1 walk. So you put that together, well, I thought there was outstanding performance by the Butler commit, the senior.
Yep.
Garrison Smitty here this afternoon.
Well, and he also got some help from his defense. Brez Zippel made a spectacular running, one-handed, barehanded field of a slow dribbler behind the mound and made an accurate throw off his back foot to end the first. Then you take a look at what Khalil Ligon did, just a tremendous snare of a line drive at him. Just a situation where we'll ask Coach if they were quite locked in maybe as much as he wanted to, but he preached a little fire as he called that infield meeting back in the first, and they certainly responded.
Well, remember, Archbold only had 2 base runners the entire game. The first one resulted in those 2 errors where Defiance just out of character threw the ball around. But then I think after Coach Weaver breathed a little fire, we saw the dynamics change a little bit. That play you talked about by Brez to end that first inning, that was a spectacular play. The only play he had was to barehand that baseball and to quickly make that throw across the infield. He did that. You talked about the snare that Ligon made there, a big-time play. And even though Cody Shaw, even though he didn't get a chance to throw out a runner, he kept the running game in check. You know, they only had a couple opportunities, but Archbold's team likes to be aggressive. But with Shaw back there, we saw him kind of backpick. They kept Archbold tight, just not allowed the Streaks to get aggressive. And the Streaks knew they had to be aggressive coming in because you know you're not going to get a lot of hits off a guy like Schmitty. So when you get an opportunity, you want to be aggressive. But credit Defiance. I thought they really buckled down on defense and did what they had to do to get the job done here this afternoon.
And they're going to need to buckle down the rest of this week as they only have 1 day off between now and a week from now, and that's Sunday. That's it. Otherwise, they are going to be in action every single day, and that includes Saturday as they get set to wrap up the regular season. And then, of course, we will be following them. We will be back here next Monday as they host Fairview, and we'll wait and see what the seeding will be for the sectionals and the postseason, because I know last year, and I won't call it an upset against Napoleon up at Archbold, but they've got some unfinished business to take care of as I see Coach working his way towards this end of the press box. So we got a headset for you as well. Come on in. We'll put him right in the middle. Your mic is hot, Coach.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. All right. What's the old phrase? It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
I guess, right?
So, you went out and preached a little fire after the second error in the first inning. To your club's credit, it looked like they responded. Did they, in your opinion?
Brez responded with one of the better defensive plays I've seen all year. Yep. Yeah, I was a little frustrated. You know, the first one was Cohen, and that's him. I wasn't really upset with him trying to do that because he does that all the time. My only point was there's 2 outs. It's pouring rain. Let's keep him at first. What really upset me was the second one where we overthrow the pitcher. Fine, it's going to happen. Our 2 guys are backing up, and they don't even know the ball was overthrown. They're sitting there talking, and it rolls right by them. So that kind of fired me up.
And it fired them up, too.
Hopefully, right?
Look, it's tough, and I get it. You and I talked a little bit about this during the pregame. Obviously, you've got the senior-dominated roster. You've got the undefeated schedule right now. You've got the ranking. It's still a grind, and it's tough. Sometimes you have to challenge or find new ways to challenge yourselves to bring it every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're still kids. They're still 17, 18-year-old kids. So, yeah, we gotta find ways. And really, if you're ever down in the dugout, our ringleader is Benny Meter. I mean, he's the senior. He gets them going. He runs the huddle. He does everything, fires them up. And that's what we talked about, where everyone knows their role. He's kind of the unsung hero, but he's the one that fires everybody up for us.
Coach, talk about Garrison Smitty a little bit. I really was impressed how he controlled the count. He really did a great job. First pitch strikes, got hitters in 2 strike counts consistently. I had him unofficially like 61 pitches in 5 innings. Talk about the importance of him really attacking the zone like he did.
Yeah, and that's where he got better today. Last Thursday, he was really good against Perrysburg. He gave up 3 runs in the first and held them scoreless, but he walked 7 guys, and we actually had to take him out with 2 outs in the 7th because he reached his pitch count. Here today, 5 innings, he had 1 walk. A lot better being around the plate, getting the first pitch strikes. And each time he starts, he's just getting better and better and better. His future is bright. Like he's young and raw. I mean, in 4 years, I think he's going to be really, really good.
Butler's getting a steal.
A steal. They have no idea what they're getting. I promise you, he's going to show up, and they're going to be like, oh, my gosh. Like, we had no idea. And that's what I told him last year. I'm like, you guys, whoever signs him, is going to get a steal that no one knows about because he missed his whole junior year, and no one really knew about him. But when you're 6'7" lefty and You throw mid-80s, I mean, schools will come calling.
Some schools actually did come
They
calling,
did.
and I am not one to play middleman. I'm not an agent. I just said, do you mind if I give you Coach's number?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
at the same time, we're not going to graduate him just yet.
Not yet. No, we wanna
there
keep him
is
for a while.
plenty of ball left to be played. As a matter of fact, you're playing every day
We are.
between now and next week, with the exception of Sunday. Walk us through how you pace yourself, both practice and game-wise.
Well, we don't practice. That's the thing. It's like a big league schedule minus the big league paycheck. So if we had the big league paycheck, I'd be all about this schedule.
Well, anytime I talk to those around the community and I mention Coach's name, the phrase handsomely compensated always comes
that what
up.
they
So
say, yeah?
am I being lied to is the question.
Maybe. I think you are. I don't know.
In all seriousness, though,
Yeah.
how do you pace yourself
Well,
through this?
I think this is where it's important that we have the seniors, the 13 seniors, the experience. Obviously, you play every day. You'd like to get a couple in home so you're not traveling all the time. I get worried, obviously, as the hitting guy, that especially when you go on the road 3-4 days, you're not hitting, you're not getting your reps in. That worries me, but that's just part of it. That's part of baseball. Baseball is really meant to be played every day like this, so they all whined and cried in the first 3 weeks when it was cold and rainy and we're canceling it. We want to play. And I'm like, well, hey, we're playing now, boys, so we'll attack each day and see where it goes.
Coach, you saw a pitcher in Jace Castillo, who's a guy that really does a great job of just kind of keeping you off stride. Yes. You know, I saw your approach. Seemed like to be aggressive guys early. Your guys really came out, tried to attack, I thought, early in the count. What do you do against a guy like Castillo that's not going to overpower you, but he's really going to try to move the ball around in all four quadrants against you?
And he impressed me a lot. And I thought early on what helped him, we chased his slider. And he didn't throw it for a strike a lot, but we were chasing it. And the last couple innings, I just kept telling him we have to lay off that. He's not throwing it for a strike. He's trying to get you to chase, and you guys are biting. You know, we just got to sit on fastball. We got to lay off that. And I always tell the guys, too, I preface with, I know from the third base coach, but it's a lot easier said than done. I understand. When you're seeing a 73-mile-per-hour slider, it's not always easy to lay off. It's easy for me in the box to say don't swing at it. But I thought we did a lot better the last couple innings of kind of laying off of that.
Well, Coach, go dry yourself off,
Yeah,
get some rest because you get no rest for the weary this week.
No, it's all right.
Any idea when you might finish this one off, or is it just too soon to tell?
You know, I don't. The umpire said it's an official game.
It is, yes.
So I don't know. I talked to Jeff. Jeff was asking if we were free Tuesday just to play another game. He said they need games. I'm like, Jeff, I don't even know our schedule. I know we play Monday.
Tell you right now, you got Whitmer next Tuesday. Is that what you're asking?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were supposed to. See, I don't know.
He's not sure now. Okay,
no,
we will just leave it hanging like a dangling participle as an educator here.
I think
and we'll
we
see.
I think we had to move it because there's a district softball.
Okay.
They have 2 games, so I don't think that is any longer.
All right. Well, hopefully you still have Fairview on Monday because we're
We do
scheduled
have
to come
Fairview
do
on
that
Monday.
one. All right.
That
so
we still have.
That's a guaranteed game, and it will be on our airwaves here.
I can tell you Monday.
As long as you know what time the bus leaves, you trust the driver to get you where you need to be,
remember
right?
what I had for lunch today. Luckily, Coach Beauty sends out on Sunday night your schedule, and I have to take a snapshot of it and keep it in my phone because I never know.
As long as Coach Beauty doesn't cut your meat at the table for you and feed you.
If I get a good steak, I might need it.
Fair enough. We're learning more. We're peeling back so many layers of the onion with this guy this year. Coach, we appreciate you coming up and joining us.
Thank you,
Best
guys.
of luck
Thanks,
this
Rick.
week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're going to take one last quick time out. When we come back, we'll put a wrap on the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. You're watching DCTV Sport.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
In life, unexpected challenges can test us. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, you deserve a team that understands. Because your story matters. Call Arthur Law Firm today. We'll fight for you every step of the way.
Back at Defiance, this one is counted as an official game. Whether they will resume it, we will just have to wait and see. But if it does not get replayed, or not replayed but finished, Defiance with a 4-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th. I'm not sure where they're going to get it in, Scoop. They've got a game every day or evening until next Tuesday. Even Coach wasn't quite sure about the Whitmer contest next Tuesday. They're going to be road warriors this week.
They're really backlogged right now, which isn't an all bad thing, especially with tournament coming around the corner. But hopefully for both these programs, they get a chance to maybe make a tournament run, and then maybe the Monday or Tuesday of the regional or something, you try to get an extra game in. Of course, a lot can happen. There's no guarantees either of these teams are going anywhere with the great competition we have in this 419 area. But again, both these programs certainly with lofty goals and good things in sight. And for the kids, this is certainly the fun time of year. This is why you put in all the time in the off season, all the preseason work. The fun part of the season just around the corner as tournaments start next week.
That's going to do it for our coverage here this evening. Our next broadcast, weather permitting, will be this Thursday just on the other side of the mezzanine here, as it will be the opening round of sectionals as Defiance hosts Lima Senior for softball action. We'll be on the air with an anticipated pregame of 4:30, first pitch at 5 o'clock. For our entire crew doing more than yeoman's work in the middle of a soaking rainstorm, Larkin, Brock, Richard, Sean, also Ryan. For Scoop Miller, I'm Brent Balbinot. We thank you, the fan, for tuning in. Final score in this game, it is official should it not be resumed. Defiance 4, Archbold 0. You've been watching a presentation of DCTV Sports.